Okay, we're gonna wait a couple more minutes just for some more people to show up. And then we'll get the show on the road. Welcome everyone to All Night Northern XR, focus on Finland. My name is Joe Orengo and I am the co-organizer of this meetup. I'm also the CEO of Spatial 8. And I want to thank you for all being here. It's a nice, cozy, pre-Johannes meetup. A lot of wonderful people here, familiar faces and some new ones as well. Thank you for joining us. So a bit about All Night in general. All Night Northern XR is part of the AWE, or Augmented World Expo Meetup Network, as you can see in this slide here, all over the world, from San Francisco all the way to Seoul. And AWE is the world's #1 XR event series. And the idea of this particular meetup is to advance the extended reality industry in the Nordic and Baltic region. And we've had this for 2 years now, and this is our, I don't even know how many we've had so far, but it's been a lot, and we're focusing on Finland. And maybe it was March 2020 that we had our very first meetup live, and it was here in Arcade 5. So we wanted to have the anniversary back here with you wonderful people. All right, so let's continue on here. And All.Live is where XR business thrives. So it's on all the time. You can join up and connect with other like-minded people. And here on the side, we have 3 events coming up. Well, one is in October. That's All EU. We plan to be there with a nice-sized Nordic delegation. And then we have in Asia, in Shanghai in August, which is actually the next one coming up. And then back in 2023, back in the USA. So if you were, I know some of you guys were there. Looks like you got a tan from over there. Yes, sir, I see you. And for Academy, we have different kinds of web AR workshops, HoloLens Mixed Reality Masterclass, fundraising prep, and virtual collaboration workshops. So check those out. And of course, you can follow on all the social media platforms. And the agenda for this evening. So first up, we actually have the words from our host here at Helsinki Games Capital. And then we'll have Spatial 8 Presents Spatial News, which will be live. That's a first. We'll also have demos and presentations from some of the cream of the crop of Finnish XR, Glue, Non-Funding Agency, Immersal, and Anarchy Labs. Then we'll top it off with a fireside chat with Jana Salokangas and Daria Stevens. It's gonna be very interesting. And we will end at 19:30, but that's just the main agenda. Then after that, we'll have some networking and drinks. And we just have enough for everybody. And if not, just share, tap water, wet your whistle, and network. and of course try some demos. Okay. So next up, we're going to have some words from our host, Helsinki Games Capital, presented by Jonna Harja. Oh, and sorry, real quick, I just want to thank all of our sponsors. That was quick. That was quick. I want to thank all of our sponsors. That's Anarchy Labs, Glue, Immersal, and Spatial 8. You know who you are. We love you. Thank you. Sir.
Nice.
This time it works less.
Please. That's not what you're supposed to see.
Okay, let's not use that. I think it's even more confusing to not use Visual 8, but yeah, this happened. So, hey, I'm Jonne Harja. I'm here, the Managing Director of Helsinki Games Capital. That is, I'm helping organizing events here in the Arcade 5, the building we are now. We're part of the Maria 01 startup hub. And basically what Helsinki Games Capital is basically a game ecosystem non-profit. We are helping the game ecosystem here in capital area, and also we run different kind of out-of-the-box projects with the City of Helsinki, different universities, schools, and other associations here in capital area to support the game industry. And I think, well, I don't think, but I think I can share a little bit sneak peek that we are working with the City of Helsinki on an Excel-related project that is going to start in December. So I'm really very interested about you guys too, and really excited to see already to see all the demos that are going to happen. Like, it's always nice to have a little bit more hardware compared to the only mobile games that I'm usually seeing most of the time. I think that's the gist. Thank you, Joe, and thank you for the sponsors, and I hope to talk with you and see your awesome demos tonight.
I'll get you back online maybe.
That was short and sweet. I thought you'd like to speak.
Yes, last time you saw me speak, it was 90 minutes.
All right, so, and next up, we have a very special edition of Spatial News. This is going to be live. Usually it's recorded, green screen. But it's presented by Spatial 8. That's what I represent. And it's Community XR Nation. And it's performed by Teemu Oililainen, giving you the news live. Sir? Oh no.
Hello.
Yes, hello. I am Kalle. News. Yes. Do you need news?
That's what you're here for, yes, sir.
News. I have good news. Very good news. Do we have a voice on this computer? Yes?
I hope.
Yes, I have good news. Very good news. About me. Yes, I am very famous. And you haven't seen this maybe yet. But I am here. That's not me. No, I am not that one. But hear it out. You know you don't hear it.
Yes.
No, there's no sound.
Today, they'll make or break
Now,
the dreams
listen.
of hopeful XR entrepreneurs. That is, if they can remember more than 3 seconds of their pitches. First into the tent
That
is
is
a
me.
colorful Harvard undergrad who's bringing a product we all consume every day into the metaverse.
Hello, I am Kalle. And this is virtual coffee. It is an actual coffee mug, you can touch it. It is real. But the coffee is virtual. It is very genius. You buy the cup and you get coffee virtually. Yes, camera recognize you drink coffee empty. What? Yes.
But now, the entrepreneur must convince the goldfish to invest the full amount or he'll walk away with nothing.
I'm looking for 50,000 euros for 1% of the virtual coffee company. Yes. Thank you. Now, questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
What's your competition?
I have no competitor. No. Real competition, only real coffee. Virtual coffee, no competition. Very blue ocean. Yes, blue ocean. Not red. This yellow, but coffee black, but blue ocean.
You believe this guy?
Next question, please.
So, what's the traction?
Traction. Yes, it tracks very well. It doesn't move too much. It is very goodly tracked. Yes. You want to try? Yes, yes, I bring you. Yes, here. Yes.
Pretty good. Tastes like roasted NFT.
Thank you. Yes. Remember, virtual coffee. The future is here.
I'm out. I'm out, man. I'm out.
Thank you very much. Konnichiwa.
We'll go home.
Yes, and I am here. Do you want to invest?
I am out.
Out? No. Virtual coffee. The future is here. Yes. Yes.
Where's the news?
It is the news. This is news. Yes. News. Invest, please.
No,
Yes, yes. Invest, please.
no.
What?
This is not the news.
Very good news. Yes.
Thank you very much, Galle.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
invest. Yes, you can.
I'm gonna talk to Demo to make sure that the
What?
spatial news next time maybe doesn't have the Galle with the hat and the vest.
What? Why not? I'm good. This is very good news. Yes.
Bad news for us.
Come on. Good news. Very good. I screw up your slideshow. You must invest.
Thank you very much. I apologize for that. He messed up my slides for me. And next up, presentation and demo from Jani Leskinen of Glue, and I'll let him do the rest.
All right, thanks. Sorry, I can't match that previous one, but hey. Nice to see you all. I'm Jan Leskinen from Glue Collaboration. Fun to be here live after 2 years. Yeah, more than 2 years. So yeah, good to see you. Usually I would start by telling why you would need remote work collaboration tool or spaces to work remotely. I assume this audience knows a little bit about the subject. How many of you have spent, let's say, more than 4 hours in virtual reality? Well, not all, but quite a few then. So yeah, Glue, just shortly about us, we come from a background of fake production, which is one of, it's a 15-year-old company in Finland doing 3D visuals, movie special effects, and about 6 years ago, we had a client project which required multi-user virtual reality, and that's where it's all started. And we started to create our own platform. We are a 30-strong team nowadays, and the Glue came out 3.5 years ago. We have been selling Glue as Glue to our customers already more than 3 years. Well, like I said, this audience knows the thing. How many of you have been in an office in the last 6 months, sort of more than a day? Well, quite a few. I haven't been there in an actual real life office. Well, I was there one time, I think, during the last 6 months or even the last 2 years. So I have been spending my time in my remote office back home, and I have been fortunate enough to be able to meet people every day through our platform. The problem that the organizations have is that they need the remote spaces. They need the space to meet people, to get something more out of that remoteness than what the video calls and video conferences can offer. So the added value of being in virtual reality is that you can truly feel the presence of others. So the Glue is answering that call, that the remote meeting has to get as close to this face-to-face meeting as we are having here as possible. And the Glue is there to give that solution for our clients. And we aim to do that globally, and we have succeeded quite nicely so far. We aim to give that solution through these four basic sort of pillars that are the background in Glue. The true presence. I can't emphasize enough that when you actually can have an eye contact with people, at least, well, I'm biased of course, but I strongly believe that to get a connection with people, to get a connection with your clients, with your teammates, you really need eye connection. And if you are using video conversation tools, you never get an actual eye contact. You either look at the camera or you look at the eyes. Look at the camera, look at the eyes. And that gets really, really frustrating. At least I really ask for that true face-to-face contact and the eye contact of well, being there. So the true presence, that's one of the key things. We get a lot of positive feedback from our clients. Our avatars, well, from the still pictures like this one here, our avatar, often the first time when people see these kind of pictures of torsos, of avatars without hands or without elbows, without knees, without your feet, they often sort of focus on that. They ask, where are your feet? Where are your elbows? And if you actually think about meeting a person and talking with them, how much you pay attention to their elbows or knees or their feet? Not probably much. And if you really need to well, teach people to dance, for example, where you would actually need to see the feet, where they are going, what they are doing, there are solutions for that. But if you would truly just want to meet people, work with them in a sort of in a way that is enough, that you have hands and you have a head, that's often enough. But people really need to put on the headset to understand that. If you have never been in virtual reality, or you have never met an avatar in virtual reality, it's really easy for people to focus on stuff that is missing from the picture. There are no hands or elbows. But yeah, true presence, that's the key thing that we have been focusing from the start, and we get a lot of positive feedback about that. Of course, collaboration tools. You need to have tools to work together. There has to be presentation options. There has to be some way to, for example, take notes and to draw maybe on a whiteboard, maybe in air, on 3D. We have all those tools available, which of course are found on many platforms. but you have to have the basics done well. And again, those are there. Customizability, that you can have your customized spaces. That's also really important. You need to have a reason to put on the headset and go into virtual reality. It's not as easy as opening a video conference tool because, well, we have the laptop or computer open all the time, so it's very easy for us to jump into a video conversation. But if and when you go into virtual reality, you have to put on the headset. The headset has to have a battery on, the internet connection has to be on. So there's a little bit of hurdle to get into the VR. So you need a good reason to go there. And one is that you have a custom space there. The space that is designed for you, or you have designed something, a 3D object, 3D space that you want to show for that group that you are meeting there. So we allow people to design their own spaces using Unity graphic engine. With our guidelines, it's quite easy to bring it in as a clue space. Naturally, we also offer, at the moment there's 12 space templates what you get from our basic license that you can choose from. There are different kind of sizes of spaces, different themes of a space that you can choose from where you want to meet your clients or your teammates. Then there's the IT security part. And that's of course when we are aiming to get the biggest companies in the world, the global companies in the world, very early in that conversation comes out the question about IT security. How confident can we be in that business-to-business meeting that no one is listening who shouldn't be listening in that conversation? And that's where we, at the moment, we are in a process of getting the ISO 27001 IT certificate, and that process, we are now living that period that we are sort of complying all those, what has been asked on that certificate, and the certificate will come later this year for us. But at the moment, I'm happy to say that we are winning certain competitions because of our security is in an enterprise level, let's say that like that. So our reference customers like Salesforce or Deutsche Telekom, they have a lot of questions in their IT security questionnaire, and we have been lucky to go through those. Let's go through some of the use cases and of course some of our great customers. On the left there, meetings and workshops. That's sort of the basic, let's say the vanilla glue that we call it. That you just meet people, you might have a workshop. And again, the persistency of our spaces allows you to have a work in asynchronously, so you can go there when the time is right for you. Some of our clients use this to battle the time differences. When the European team ends their day, they go back their home, leave their office, either it's remote or the real office. Their US counterparts, their colleagues can wake up and go into that same space that those colleagues were during the Europe day. And if you leave a note there, if you leave a agile Kanban board there with your notes and stuff, they can see what you have been doing there during the day, and they can continue by their own time. So that's the case. And the workshops, since the platform at the moment with the standalone devices, for example, we recommend to keep the maximum meeting, how many people you can have in a meeting, depending on your hardware, how the performance goes. So with the standalone devices like Pico Neo 3 or Focus 3 or Quest 2, we recommend a maximum 40 people in the same space simultaneously for the best performance. But workshops, when you have the spatial sound, as you have in a glue space, you can have a conversation here with someone or a small group, and you can have your conversation over there in that virtual space. Again, something that you can do in a video conference tool. you can't have simultaneously talks in small groups. Sales and marketing. Some of our clients, for example Salesforce, they have created a event space where they can invite people to be there with them and show. It's more like an exhibition type of things. Also, with, for example, Mylefer Patria, they're using our platform to show their products, which might be huge in physical size or really hard to logistically to get into the real life exhibitions. They can show them there. Training and education. We have, for example, Duodec came from Finland. We have created training models for them. So in healthcare, there's a patient between a team, and the team can work together and they can pass on instruments, they can talk, there can be a teacher somewhere looking into that, how it goes. Well, the virtual events were more or less the same. Depending really, the virtual events, I would raise a use case of team buildings and off-site sort of days where you should, where you would in a real life, you would leave your office, go to the woods or somewhere in a cottage to have that ideation workshop outside of office. Those are quite easy to do in virtual reality. And if you want to recount on the return of invest, it's very easy to count how much a day out of office costs for the team and how fast you could sort of get your invest back from, let's say, Quest 2s if you buy them for the team for that. But yeah, those are some of our clients. And
Glue brings value.
actually, we don't need the sound there, but yeah, you can see some images from our spaces. I would be happy to book a demo with you if you are interested after this. So if you're interested, just come and say hi. I'm happy to book a demo for you. We are not doing demo live here today on this evening, but I can do it later this week, or we can schedule a time for you. But yeah, I didn't see a clock somewhere. Where are on time? If we still have a few minutes, I would be happy to answer some of questions at the moment, because yeah, any questions about our platform or use cases or something? None? Yeah.
How does it work out to have hybrid meetings, like a part of the team participating from Glue and someone else is on Zoom, for example?
Yeah, great question. So the question was how to do a hybrid meeting. We require everyone to log into Glue to be there, but you don't need to use VR headset for that. You can also join in with 2D display PCs and Macs. So yeah, yeah, we have done some that you one of the participants, of course, can come in with the desktop mode, and then they can share the view in the Zoom or whatever video conference tool. It's not as good, but yeah, you can be as a camera there in the Glue meeting and sort of stream that. But yeah, yeah.
How many clients do you have?
How many clients do we have? How should I answer that? We should have more, so welcome. But we are. My title is head of sales, and I'm quite happy at the moment. So we are in a good place. Of course, always there could be more, but like I said, we are now winning competitions in a global level with a large enterprise clients. So I have to be really happy that we are in top tier of these multi-user platforms at the moment.
Well, what are the kind of the main hurdles that a team kind of experiences when they are taking Glue as one of the tools?
Yeah, so the main hurdles when the team starts with Glue. Yeah, I would start with the hardware. I believe many of you understand that using a VR headset for the first time in your life. That might be a little bit of hurdle to do that. So if you just introduce this to a team and you send them the headsets and you start the meeting, and then the first one says that, yes, I have this box here, should I take the wrapper off? It's not a joke. It's quite often the meetings start with that someone hasn't even opened up the box with the VR headset. So we all know that will take some time for that person to get in. So what I recommend to start any team or any meeting you want to have in Clue, to have a pre-meeting or pre-session where you would sort of test that everything works, internet connections on, batteries on, you know how to move around. When you enter Clue for the first time, you actually enter a home space where you can next. So yeah, so you enter a space where you can test everything works, how things work around. So yeah, I would say that little pre-testing should be done before that. And of course we have to acknowledge that this is not for everyone. Axel Springer, one of our clients, have been with us already almost 3 years in Germany, a media house. They went well with their sort of startup. They always gave the team 3 weeks of time to test Clue, try out Clue before they even decided do they actually want to go forward. So the whole team sort of would be good to whole team be there behind the decision. You can see a few pictures from our meetup. Actually, we have these open hours once a month where we invite our users to meet us and others in our spaces. But yeah, I think that's my time. Thank you very much. Please come and see me after this, and I would be happy to answer more questions, and if possible, schedule a demo for you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Yanni. That's fantastic. We're happy for your success and continue. Okay, next up, presentation by non-fund agencies. Lee Regini, did I say that right?
Yeah, Leandro.
Ah, awesome. Okay, Happy Fins NFT project.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, kind of short there. Yes. Closer. Let's go.
Okay, cool. Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm here today to represent and to talk about our project, Happy Fins. And so I'll just start off. My name's Leandro, and I'm a co-founder of Non-Fun Agency, which is an agency that is basically made to create NFT collections and new IP and to help brands to enter the space.
This is me over here, and I'm one of the co-creators of the Happy Fins project, and with Henrik, who's taking photos. And this is my dog Paco, who really had nothing to do with it, but he's an honorary Happy Fin. So let me just tell you a little bit about the project. So what is the Happy Fin NFT project? So we're a project in a collection that's exploring, exporting, and nurturing happiness, and kind of based on Finnish happiness, and kind of what is Finnish happiness about, you know? And I can see a few people kind of like wry smiles, you know. And I'd say that, you know, 5 years ago when Finland was first sort of declared by the World Happiness Report to be the happiest country in the world, I think everybody thought it was kind of a joke, you know, was even skeptical, cynical about it, you know. But it's been 5 years now, and it's continuing, and there is something in Finland, and I think that people here are beginning to believe that maybe there is something to it. Maybe Finland is the happiest place in the world. Maybe the Finns aren't the happiest people. I'm not saying that. Certainly we're not the most cheerful or the jolliest, but you know, that's not really what this measure is about. It's about, like, you know, a situation that people are allowed to be happy, and kind of a place that allows people to find their own happiness if they choose to. And so there is something happening here in Finland, and our project is an NFT collection, but we also really want to explore happiness and kind of see what is it that we can do to promote happiness in society, promote happiness for people, and promote happiness in our digital lives. And you know, you might ask, like, why an NFT collection? How's an NFT collection? What's that got to do with it? You know, and so let me first say, you know, I was in Amsterdam last week. I'll just tell you kind of my experience with this, and the Happy Fin collection, we've been cooking this up for a while, but you know, we just launched at Arctic 15 and kind of announced it over there, and I went to Metaverse Amsterdam, and it was the first time that I was kind of really representing happiness, and I had a really interesting and kind of powerful experience there. Because what I noticed is that once people found out that I was here representing happiness, I had people hopefully, optimistically, a little bit shyly asking me what's the secret, you know, and kind of obviously like knowing that I don't have the answer. But you know, people were seeking happiness, and it's something that's very important for people, and it's something that people are, you know, that's very meaningful as well. And so I kind of really saw that, you know, that the project has a powerful cause and a powerful motivation to kind of create happiness, and it can be something that, you know, I won't say lacking in the world, but it's something that certainly everybody could use a little bit more of, you know. And on some levels, happiness is kind of like money, you know, everybody wants it, but you know, maybe it's more valuable, you know. So why an NFT collection? You know, I would say, if we think about our lives, and I think about our digital lives, you know, well, our lives as a whole and how we interact digitally. I mean, a lot of our life is spent, you know, working, socializing on online platforms, and we're on the road to the metaverse, you know. So, you know, that's just going to increase, and our digital life becomes more and more important. But yet somehow we don't think it's our real life, and we don't think it's allowed to have meaning, you know, or do we? You know, and so we really want to also explore that. You know, if you think about, you know, the platforms and the way we represent ourselves primarily through photos, through profile pictures, you know, and through the photos that we show and stuff like that. But we're held to unbelievable standards of beauty and aesthetics, you know, and of lifestyle, which are unachievable. And so in order to achieve that, a lot of people really have to distort themselves. You know, you have to have filters. You have to distort yourself in order to measure up. But you know, if you take something just like, you know, an NFT, and an NFT of course can be many things. It can be artwork, it can be music, it can be a store of value, it's a contract, you know, it's a PFP. There's many different ways that NFTs can play out, you know. But people like to represent themselves, you know. It's the new band T-shirt. It's the new cool song, and people like to own things that represent them. And representing yourself through something, through a symbol, is different from distorting yourself to fit in. And so we think that, you know, NFT collection, and we think an NFT collection around something as positive as happiness is, you know, can be a force for good. And also, you know, if, as they say, that we are, you know, heading to the metaverse, then, you know, where are we heading? You know, to what metaverse? Is it going to be a happy place? Is it a place that we want to go? You know, and I've been creating VR experiences, as have many people in our team. We have some understanding of the space, and for me, I mean, I've been there. There's no people there yet, You know, so we kind of came back and we're handing out NFTs, which are hopefully the ticket to the metaverse. You know, so you know, right now, say metaverse makers, brands. You know, there's real opportunity. You know, with Web3, with decentralization. You know, and with NFTs and with old IP and new IP to create symbols which people can start to use to rally and create communities which are about a direct relationship with the communities. They can use them to find people that are like-minded, that, you know, they gravitate towards these same symbols, whether they be positive, whether they be superficial. That's everybody's personal choice about what they use to represent themselves. And unlike a profile, like a normal photo, you can have many personas, you know, and so you can have many different symbols that represent you. And so NFT projects, I think, are already the key to taking people to the metaverse. For metaverse makers, as I said, and brands, to basically create their tribe of people, a place where people can go. It can be inclusive, it can be representative, you know, and, you know, if done right, we have an opportunity to create like a happier online life and a digital life, because at the moment, and I'm not saying that there's anything that is all bad, I think there's a lot of great things that happen online, but there is a lot of anxiety caused over our digital lives about the amount of time that we use in social media, all of those kind of things, and the metaverse promises to give us more of that, and so we need to pay attention to that. And so the Happy Fins project is dedicated to creating a community around exploring happiness both in our lives and our digital lives. And so, let me also be clear though, you know, that, you know, we are not a non-profit. You know, the Happy Fins is an NFT project and it's part of the non-fun agency. And we're really proud and we really stand by our desire to create a community and to create impact. But we also are really proud and interested in commercializing our IP. And we think the two things can go hand in hand. So we really want people to join our community. We really want people to align with our cause. We really want people to buy our NFTs as well. And also to reach out to brands, to organizations, to create partnerships, to nurture relationships so that we can kind of, you know, to make one-off art pieces, to make apparel, you know, which can be aligned with both creating revenue, creating profit, and also furthering our cause of impact. So, how can you be part of being a Happy Fin? Well, obviously you can join our community, you can follow us on Twitter, our Discord is open. Keep your eyes peeled for the drop, and, you know, feel free to speak to us as well if you're, you know, if you're an organization, if you're a partner, if you're just interested. We're really open to discussing any and all possibilities at this moment. And that's it, and I'll just kind of finish with a little story, which is kind of like, why am I a South African standing here representing Finland and being a Happy Fin? And I'll tell you a story, which is that, you know, I grew up in Cape Town in South Africa, and Cape Town's like a really outgoing place. Like there's a lot of people, there's like a lot of chat on the street and a lot of vibe and a lot of humor and stuff like that. And growing up, I was kind of introverted, and people always used to say to me, you know, hey, you know, be happy, you can smile, and don't worry, things are going to be all right. And I was always like, I'm happy inside, I'm fine, you know, leave me alone. And when I came to Finland, you know, I kind of realized I'd found my spiritual home, and that maybe I'd just been a spiritual Finn all along. And now I've been living here 18 years, and so I'm happy to say that I'm a Happy Fin, and I'm proud to represent the Happy Fin. So if you have any questions about the collection and anything else, please feel free to speak to me afterwards, or if you have any questions now. Thank you.
How and when you are starting, or is it sort of started yet?
We've kind of soft launched. We announced it at Arctic 15. We've been developing for a while. The project's been about maybe 6 to 8 months behind the scenes in the making. We have our artwork, we have, you know, everything's ready to go. We have the kind of whole collection worked out. You know, we at this point are developing like a core community of friends, people who we think are aligned with our cause, and we want to kind of like, you know, find the right people. We're aiming to have something around 50 friends of the project that we think, and that's both in Finland and abroad, that we think kind of are aligned with the project and will help to nurture and develop the community. And then we'll open it up to, you know, whitelisting, and then the drop will happen a little later. What
are some perks of belonging to the community?
Well, at this point, I'd say the community is going to be kind of self-driven. You know, that we kind of are at this point working out what is the community. Some like small perks are this. You know, things like you're invited to the Discord, but I mean, what does that mean really? You know, and so we're thinking about the Discord as an education and an entertainment channel. And so we're going to be having webinars, and that's where our kind of community comes in. That we're going to have people who we think bring value to the community that kind of are on panels and the webinars and stuff like that. And then we're also going to have some kind of like live events like Malku and Lonkero type events and things like that in order to kind of promote the community. And then of course, you know, if you're early into the community, you get access to like future drops and partnerships and stuff that we develop.
Cool.
Cool. Hey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Do you need my finger again?
Not the same thing.
Thank you. And next up, presentation and demo from Immersal Zone, Antoni Vesterinen. Did I say that right?
That's correct.
All right, I'm on a roll today.
Do I need to use the mic?
If you want to, you can.
People tend to say that I'm loud, so
Just use your outside.
does everybody hear without the mic? Nobody's hearing, so nobody's hearing. So hi, thank you Joe, thank you Teemu, thank you Special Aid for allowing us on the stage. And my name is Antoni, I'm from Immersal. We have here Päivi, and we have here Mikko. And I'm going to be making this a little bit untraditional. I'm going to do the demo first, and then if we have time, then we'll talk about the company and the other nonsense that there is. But first question to Mikko: is the Android version out already?
I don't know.
All right. While Mikko is checking whether the Android version is out, how many iPhone users? Most? All right. Then do what I'm doing here. Where do I have it? App Store. Then type Immersal. There. Immersal.
Still in
personal metaverse. And this is what you got. So type it. Do it now. This is an instruction. Please, I'm an ex-officer. So when downloading this, I'm going to be asking then once you have downloaded and also got yourself registered with your Apple or Google ID, some of you maybe join us on this metaverse experience. It's going to be metaversical. And now let's go into the demo. So once you have downloaded the app, it actually looks like this when you open it. So I'm cold starting it from my device. So and I'm continuing with Face ID. Does it recognize my face? Oh, wonderful. And this is what it basically comes up with. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to record a personal metaverse. And you guessed it right, press the plus. Capture a thumbnail. I'll take a thumbnail here. I'll give it a name. Let's give it a name. Spatial. Isn't that a good name? That's a very good name, great name. All right, done. And then create. And it says entering augmented reality. and here on the bottom it says start capture. Capture means I'm making a model of the space here, and basically just what the application is doing. It is taking images of the space, and once it has taken enough images, then the bar is coming to an end, and I can do it also this way if I want to. Whatever is better. It says creating AR experience. So what that means, it is sending the data to Immersive Cloud Service. Obviously the users couldn't care less what is happening in the background. It says processing, and while it is processing, I'll take another experience that I just did in the morning here. So there were no chairs, nothing, and everything was on. Or actually, it's done. So let's launch it. And my personal metaverse is empty. There's nothing. But I can add, for example, here, maybe not myself, but let's add a short video of a dog wagging its tail. So this is what that looks like when it is building. All right, it is wagging its tail, and now I don't like it there. I think the dog should be somewhere. Let's put it there. Päivi, you come over here. So the dog is over there now, and now I actually want to share this, and Mikko, you come also over. So I share this.
It's a QR code.
It's a QR code, obviously, as you guessed it. And now you also take the QR code, and you can wave that. So okay.
Yeah.
Now we are actually in the same space. I go to the spatial lake, and
dog video is there.
All right. Add something over there. So I'm just looking around here, and
where's the dog?
The dog is over there.
Yeah, it is.
So
I'm adding a video that I took today at Linnanmäki when we were testing this.
all right, the video just appears here, and I will actually like the video a little bit bigger, so I'll scale it up. So that's what it is. It's too sunny.
Also at Linnanmäki working.
Too windy.
Busy.
And we have there. That's also too small. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. I'll add here and then something else out of it. We need to have a fire. So it's showing just an advertisement of AR and immersive while it is creating it. And now we have a fireplace there. And then we of course need to have a selfie wall there. My face is so beautiful.
I also have a fireplace.
I'll lift my face up there because it's so beautiful. So, and then I will also add
Voice.
Because Mikko needs to have his face also. Where did I? Okay, there's Mikko. But I will transfer Mikko over there beside me.
So the fireplace has got audio.
And here, let me see. The sound is smart. All right. Anyone want to join? All right. Come on over.
Absolutely.
I'll share the experience. So I'll go out. Share it. Just take camera. No.
Let's see if this
works. We never tried this with anyone else.
Yeah. So you installed it already? Yeah. If you don't install it, just go to the App Store.
So slow.
Slow and hold.
All right. Let's see if we can get it working. It normally works also on age. So, and if you have any complaints on how this works, Mikko is our Chief Product Officer. Everything related to UI, everything related to code,
and
bugs, all. So that's Mikko. So this is how you create your personal metaverse. Did you get it working?
Not yet done, sure. I'm logged in.
No. Maybe try scanning again.
Demo effect.
Yeah.
Are you able to place 3D objects? Scenes?
We can, as
Actually,
you saw,
photos are
when loading the photos, you see the 3D objects. Yes, we can. But
so you can walk behind the photos.
Yeah, I see they are 3D-dimensional there.
Yeah, you can add basically anything that can be digitized, but we have limited the data that the users can upload to just photos and short videos, so that it is understandable for your mother and my daughter, so anyone
Most people
can do
don't
it.
have 3D objects on their phones.
In the future, everybody will have them, but in the future, we will also support them. And like Leandro, you said that, okay, you've been to the metaverse and you came back because there was nothing there. We are now bringing the metaverse to everybody, so that anyone and everyone can create a piece of metaverse every place and anywhere. So with any device, and call then their friends and have them join that and make it fun and easy. And maybe also put the Happy Fin NFTs there. That could be also a possibility. Yes. Yeah. Go.
You should develop web version.
What?
You should develop web version of this product.
Web version? Web AR doesn't support spatial AR yet. We are working on it, and Mikko is the owner of that program as well. But the Chrome Android combination is the only one that supports it somehow, but it is still early days. We are waiting for Safari and Apple to come with the web AR solution, but it's not there. So, good comment. Please.
Unity SDK, do you have it?
Fun?
Yeah, we have Unity SDK. Basically, we only have a Unity SDK. You have it? Okay.
Yeah. So immersal.com developers just create yourself an account and download the SDK. It's free. And the personal metaverse app, it's free.
Can you create interactions there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are the kind of the main use cases of this?
You tell us. There's so many, there's so many things. We were just with teenagers at the theme park, which would be sort of simple. They would just be adding stuff, taking a simple map of one of the rides and putting their own videos of when they are screaming in the ride there and sharing it with the friends. That's very simple, but it could be so many things. In, of course, industry, it can be something that you put instructions to, I don't know, story or technical room for someone to find, even a video how to repair something. We've had these contacts now for navigation things. Yeah, it's a lot of things that you can imagine.
Airbnb instructions in the apartments to be
If you want to be a super host in Airbnb, you maybe add this kind of content to your flat, so that the guys know how to use the fireplace, know how to use the dishwasher, have recipes maybe in the kitchen, you know, all kinds of things. Even a city guide would use this to add, augment, you know, more stuff to the city guide. They walk, but they also look at some things here and some things in the real life.
Mikko, any use cases you can think of?
Nude pictures in your bedroom.
Only pictures, not video.
He's divorced.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about teenagers.
Oh, teenagers, yeah, of course.
Maybe you can, you know, redecorate your room as the common room of Hogwarts. But of course you don't own those pictures, but you know.
Then my favorite one, which everybody hates, and they are going to hate me for saying this. There's a graveyard there. Many of us have also our ancestors' graves there. I haven't done it, but I could, and maybe I'll do. I'll post some pictures of my loved people who are there, and then leave some stories and give the possibility for others to do the same. Maybe also for the famous people, leave the greetings, leave things you shared with the person there, and you can create a huge storyboard over there.
What are the limitations of the area? For a graveyard, for example, it's quite large.
One grave, basically what I did here when I showed you how to scan the place here. This is the kind of area that you can do with the personal metaverse app, but the technology has no limitations. So you can go this room, this building, this city, this planet, and then basically stitch everything together or keep them separate and align the things together. But this application that we are seeing here is limited to small personal places.
But actually the mappings and also the images and all the content is in global coordinates, so latitude, longitude, so they actually have a global position.
Yeah, it's just that we want people to get excited about this first, and the mapping, when they map a smaller space, it's more likely that the map is a success and they don't have to do it again, or you know, it also goes smoothly to the server and all that stuff. So we recommend to start with a small space like this, or maybe one ride in Linnanmäki, and then yeah.
We are, our main customer base are the global mobile network operators who most of them are talking about mapping at minimum a shopping mall, and then a part of city, part of Tokyo, or part of Los Angeles. But then getting the content there is the challenge. And then we are always talking about in 6 months or in 12 months, we will have this, we will have that. But this, what you see here now, is available right now. And you can go and start delivering content, sharing things with your friends and people. And you don't need to wait for 6 or 9 or 12 months to start living with, not in, but with the metaverse. Okay.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
You.
Is it our turn?
Yes.
And next up we have Anarchy Labs. Welcome.
I need to do my stream.
Okay. Are we seeing something? Yes, we are. So in a truly demo fashion, we are going to do exactly the same as Universal did. And we just jumped right into the demo. So quickly about Anarchy Labs. I'm CTO of Anarchy Labs. We are like a 2-year-old, very young company. We are doing outdoor AR for drone pilots. So our aim is to actually give a tool for flying drones outdoor. And what is Mr. KV doing here? This is very much an experiment. This is a version from today's afternoon. We fixed one more bug that we found out. So our version we are running is very, very young, but anyway, our product is very young. We are kind of an early beta. So we have some demo. We have some customers who are kind of trying out our product and giving us feedback, but it's still very early on. So in principle, what we see here is kind of a simulation of an actual flying situation. Instead of the real drone, we have an Xbox controller, and that kind of generates the actual telemetry that we would get from the drone. So this is almost like actual flying situation, about that we don't have a drone. And please put the hazards on, so I will try to show some of the features that we are developing there, and put the demo mode on and don't start anything. So okay, so now we have a demo mode. We have the pilot sees a map on front of them if it loads, and if you just raise your gaze a bit where the drone indicator. So this very crappy drone-like thingy that has these circles, that's where the real drone is in when you're actually flying out. And on the left there is a map, and on the right there's a video, but now in this demo we don't have a video. So if you would have a real drone, you would see the drone video there. And you can like start flying. So you go up and go a bit above. So we have on this demo we have this very fast, because we are testing flying like in a kilometers away. So for this is going very fast. And the idea is that currently the drone pilots, they are flying like this. They are looking at this little Android device or whatever they have there, and they are trying to kind of understand what's going on. Drones are very small. If you fly a bit further than a couple of meters, they disappear in the sky. I mean, you can't see anything. So the basic idea is that the pilots, they can gaze where the drone is, and they can understand the situation. So basically this is a tool for improving the situational awareness. And our main customer segments that are very interested about our product are in the public safety, because they have a need to go into situation very fast. They need to fly behind the buildings. They need to kind of be aware of what's happening there. They need to instruct other team members. So this is an direction that we are heading. Of course, the HoloLens is not certified for outdoor usage. We are kind of doing this in our own risk. Many restrictions are on that area, but we are sure that it's going to be near future. Of course, Microsoft also have these these kind of army-based things that maybe someday they will come, hopefully, to also widerly available. And of course, yeah. But you can do a lot with this. And now switch on the big map mode. So when we have shown this to our customer base, this is something. Okay. Sorry. Come on. Why did you do this? Okay, sorry. So this is something that they get. Okay, this is now a very useful thing. So in here, please fly near the building straight ahead. Maybe you can try to approach those buildings. Huh?
Let me try to get the direction correct.
Yeah, this is the thing that happens when you are actually piloting the drone. It's actually very difficult to understand which way the nose is pointing. And now, if you look up, I'm just showing the nose. So if you go up where the drone is actually above, you see this our indicator. So this gives many pilots have been saying that this is one of the best features of this. You can always see where the drone's nose is pointing out. And what I forgot to tell that this indicator in the real world is actually where the drone is, and so we need to lock the drone to an actual location. So we are actually showing that, okay, here's the drone to the HoloLens, and we use the HoloLens ability to actually understand where it is on relation to the world. And that's the basis that we can actually show that the drone is where it is. And we also know as you can see from the map, we know based on whatever map information we have. This is currently using Mapbox, which unfortunately doesn't have, for example, the heights for the buildings as good as we would hope for, but I mean it's still usable. So now you can approach a building from the side. And you can even walk around to see a bit different angle for the drone, so you can actually kind of, this is also something that makes it very clear what's happening with your drone. And if you go a bit closer, so I think, are we seeing some kind of
Let's see.
okay.
Those are your buildings.
Yes. So now we start showing, we know where the building data is also in the real world, so now we start showing the indicators that, okay, this is warning levels, you are quite close to the building. So this is kind of a demo from our active development. In a sense, this needs more work because, for example, I mean, it's quite difficult to understand because of the angles. I mean, we show the distances to the corners and to the side, but we need to show them in a way that it's always very clear what's happening there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is in a truly demo fashion, a demo from today's build. I'm happy it didn't crash. It did crash previously, we found a bug and fixed it, so good.
So yeah, the blue things are the buildings and yeah. Now.
Yes, you can actually, you can go, well, I'm not sure, is it very useful? Well, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so we are Anarchy Labs, we are a 10-person team. Currently we are looking for new round of funding currently, and it's looking interesting for doing some outdoor AR for a change. So thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. So
in case someone wants to also look at the camera feed from the, like many drones have cameras,
yes.
How would you combine it while using?
I mean,
from a practical perspective, could you just
I mean,
stream as a?
in here, we don't have any feed.
Oh yeah, but that's okay. Yeah.
So actually, you can play the demo. All right. You have to exit from this feedback because we don't show the. Yeah. So we can actually we have another kind of an animated demo for just. You can make it bigger. So in the right side you have this. If you go to the extra tools, you can notch the video size a couple of times more. Something here? No? Oh, it's on my. I can see it. Yes, it's just on my computer. I forgot to. Yes. Now look at the video. So you yes. Look at the video. It's just but and not very fast. So yeah. You're still looking to the side. I'm trying to look. Just turn your head.
Se on zoomautunut väärin, kun se on niin sen sliippi.
Videoikkuna on vähän löysi.
Yeah, it's too big. Make it, yeah. We have been experimenting with what's the proper size of the video. But anyway, so that's the idea. And of course, I mean we are not trying to be a first person like drone program in a sense because it doesn't make sense for HoloLens to be like to start because there's always some see-through. But it's more like that we put things in the correct position in the real world, and that's the basic thing what we aim to do. And we aim to be very useful for the clients. So I mean, they will dictate what things will happen next. So far, this is very much our idea of what's useful, but from to the future, it's going to be much more like what they need, we will build. So there was something else. Sorry?
How do you acquire the 3D model of landscape?
Yes, currently we use Mapbox, and that was just the easiest thing to start with. We're gonna incorporate other kind of models and probably like try to use the best available data that's available for us in a sense that we could, I mean, a lot of areas, like in Finland we have an excellent data, but we just haven't had the resources to really go into it yet. But I mean, we're gonna support
So you don't need to use it in real life? You don't need
Sorry?
To use it in real life, you don't need previously to 3D model all the stuff?
No. I mean, this is yeah. I mean, we will use public. I mean, not like what's available there, but yeah. But at some point, I mean, it would be very useful, for example, to allow users to actually scan something and create a 3D model on the spot. But that's something for the future.
Okay. Thank you very much, Alex.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, actually, Julie, if you could help me with these. I'm not sure where the best placement for these are, but next up we have our fireside chat. And do control that.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Far away.
There's nothing on the screens.
Well, that's okay. It should be, but that's all right. We don't need the screens anyway. All right, we have the fireside chat with Janna Salokangas. Welcome. I have a list of what you are, co-founder of and co-creator of, so please do correct me if I'm wrong. You are co-founder of Mission Impact World, co-founder of Finnish Flow, co-creator and editor Metaverse Impact, chapter president for VR/AR Association Finland, and founder of Nordic Collective.
That's correct, and they're all linked to each other some ways. I can try to explain that in a minute, but yeah, that's correct. Great to be here and great to meet you all.
Yes, thank you for coming here. And then we have Tarja Stevens, and I have a list for you as well. You are the co-founder of Mission Impact World, ambassador of All-Star Women NFT Club and DAO, co-creator and editor of Metaverse Impact, chapter president of VR/AR Association Finland, board of advisors Miami South Florida Real Estate Technology Association, board member of Impact Mission Miami, and more. So did we catch the most?
We did. And the chapter president is from Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So super excited to be here. I arrived 2 days ago, and being a happy Finn, I couldn't be more happier to be here. So.
Excellent. So maybe we start with you. How do you combine all these roles? This is like a huge list, you know.
I think when we characterize ourselves connectors and advisors, there is, like Janna mentioned, they are all connected to each other. So that's what we have felt, and we can deep dive more in some of those topics. But last year, being in the Web3 and Metaverse and VR space, the most needed, what we saw with Janna, is the education, is the connectors. It is connecting and the community building, and that's what we feel the last year has been full-time job, is really connecting, understanding what are the collaboration opportunities, the partnership opportunities, and that's what I've been doing in Miami.
Shut down. It works now, yes. Okay, good. That sounds good. How about Janna, you, if you can elaborate on how do you connect all those roles and what's the main thing, and is it the same than Tarja's, or how do you see it?
Yes, I have a very similar answer to you because we are co-creators of Mission Impact and Metaverse Impact. And how we bring all of these things together, first of all, we're super proud Finns, so that's one thing to start with. We're also super happy Finns. We just came from Amsterdam. But as Tarja said, we are connectors, and we feel that we're bridging the gap from Web 2 to Web 3. And I don't have a deep tech background, but I understand people. I have deep networks, and I think this is how I'm bridging the gap. And for me, being a proud Finn, this is how we came up with Finnish Flow as well. So I was attending Davos World Economic Forum year 2020, and we realized with Risto Kuulasmaa that Finland is missing its opportunities at the world's most powerful business conference. And this is how we founded Finnish Flow, which is leading the Finnish business community to Davos World Economic Forum side event where we just came. We were there 3 weeks ago. Also shining a light on Finland and Finnish initiatives around the world, and I believe that Finland has a lot to offer to the global context, and so this is all linked to each other in a great, beautiful way.
Yeah, that sounded very, very interesting. Actually, the first question to you was actually regarding that the Finnish business community participation in the Davos side events. That we have heard reports that this side of events have been amongst the most popular in Davos. So can you elaborate maybe on that?
Definitely. We were the talk of the town, and we did things our own way, and that's why we were seen. Also because of the world situation, the NATO membership, the upcoming NATO membership, and everything what's going on. Obviously, the eyes were on Finland, and it was a great time to be there. We had a great Finnish representation, great companies, and great tech, such as IQM quantum computing, ISI satellite technology, and just like a great group of Finnish people, great group of new energy. And I think we succeeded in that as well. We brought some big big leading names such as Dr. Deepak Chopra to we matched Finland with the international content. So I guess that was the secret sauce. And for my surprise, and I was super happy to see that Davos was actually all about Web3, which is nothing to compare to the last years. I've never seen that before, and I couldn't imagine that it was so heavily involved there. Everybody was talking about Web3, but however, what we always noticed that there is such a need for education. People do not really understand it. It's so hard to be linked in the real world, and that is why these kind of demos and examples are super important, and I think we should do more of these, maybe in Davos as well. We should co-create some kind of demos and experiences to really elaborate what is the metaverse, what is Web2, Web3, and so on.
Yeah, that was actually my next question, was that how do you see that what would be the good way to bring Finnish XRs in more ears and eyes in that kind of setting. So maybe creating our own version of demos there and seeing how it works. Maybe that's a good thing.
Definitely. Examples, education is super simple. Talking about these things, and bringing these things closer to people. And I think this is what we are doing. This is what Happy Finns are doing. This is what we all are doing. So it's a super important job.
Yeah, thank you for being there. Then how about Tarja? You have been silent there for a bit, so sorry about that. You guys are both co-founders of the Mission Impact World and co-creators and editors of the Metaverse Impact. What are they respectively, and how do they overlap? How would you say?
Yeah, that's a great question. So just a story how Janna and I met. I've been in Miami since '96, so I've been there quite many years, and we met with Janna a year ago, and that's when we went into, as they say, the rabbit hole of Metaverse and Web3. And that's when we realized that the content is needed. So the last year we have had a Metaverse Impact, which means we are moderating panels. We have been doing podcasts with companies. And every time, like Janna said, whoever we met and being countless conferences, from Bitcoin to Metaverse, we just came from Amsterdam 2 days ago, hosted their events. Everybody is saying, how do I learn more? How do I bring my strategy? What is the headquarters? Which Metaverse? So that's when, just a while ago, Mission Impact was born, which means we are helping companies building strategies by training their employees, by training their leadership, understanding the growth mindset, and also the emerging technologies. So those are overlapping. I think many companies say and ask, how do I get started? And we always say 3 C's, that you commit. You just commit that this is something that we need to talk about, and then you connect to the right people. And in these early days, as we know, we are early innovators. We all are pioneering, so we all need to collaborate and connect. And then we start creating. And it's as simple as that. It's nothing that we are looking into these incredible strategies. I come from the consulting, but it's more of the education right now. So that's what kind of those aligned that we felt that we are bringing value to the community.
Okay, do you have anything to add to that, or did she empty the bank?
Did I cover everything?
Definitely,
yeah.
Okay, excellent. That was an excellent answer, of course. How about VR, AR? You are both chapter presidents, Miami and in Finland. What are the differences or specialities of those XR scenes, maybe respectively, and how would you like to use that as a platform and kind of bridging the two communities together more?
Yeah, if I may say, because this is what happened. It was January 2023 when the Global VR Association, I think some of us actually met through that. They realized that there was no chapter in Miami, and the VR chapter, there's over 50 chapters globally, and I think they have 60,000 members right now combined in those companies, and 27 different committees and councils. So Miami was not on the list, so they connected with me and saying if I would be able to come and really start promoting the VRAR Association. My first question is like, heck no, I don't have any tech, I don't know what to talk. I don't know the VRAR like everybody else. But that's when we realized that it is the community, it's the education. And so that's what I feel like the Miami has been now building the XR community there. It's just bringing and connecting different communities, from the crypto community, SpaceX community, impact community, and how we can all come together. That's when the impact happens. And so I feel like that's what the VR Association has been. Passion project, it's something very much volunteer that I do there, but at the same time very learning a lot how the space looks like in Miami right now, which is growing, and that's another interesting space to be right now. Janna?
Yeah, exactly the same here. When Tare was the chapter president of Miami, she introduced me. You know, I'm in Helsinki and nobody was actually the chapter president here. My first question, they asked me if I wanted to be involved. My first question was like, no, not at all, because like I don't have enough of understanding that I could be a chapter president of VR AR. But here I am, and like that's the thing. We understand people, we understand connections, and we feel like we're more. And obviously we're learning as we go. And I've been studying very hard for the last year. But it's more about, you know, being a platform and bridging the right people together, the right initiatives together. We just hosted an impactful dinner in Amsterdam, connecting professional people with the Web3 leaders, and just like I think it's all about creating these powerful spaces and connections for people to interact and learn together, and that is my job at the VR AR at the moment as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think connecting the people is the main thing, not the technology itself. It will follow anyway.
Yeah, but and then we invite the leading industry leaders, you know, to tell about the technology. So obviously that is a very important part of everything, but it doesn't mean that I would have to understand everything so deeply.
Yeah, I agree. And what can we expect from VR AR Association Finland this year, and how can we help? We are here to help.
Well, I mean, I don't know, let's co-create. Maybe we'll do something together with Immersal and Spatial 8 and Happy Finns. I mean, definitely some community events and some nice gathering, great people, great energy. And one thing I have to say that I have a really great position here, you know, following what Miami is doing so closely, and I spend half time there as well. So I think there's a lot of things and events and examples we could bring what you are doing with the Miami community. So we are coming slightly behind what we're getting there, and maybe you can elaborate what's happening in Miami, and then I take the best parts and bring them to Finland.
I'll test there. You can follow. No, I think Miami, it's what we have learned is the city level of the Web3 and the metaverse and the crypto, all these boiling pot that what happened in Miami 5 years ago when the mayor is actually taking their salary in crypto right now. There is a Miami coin, there is a Miami crypto task force founded by the city. So those are things, and now New York is coming and saying, I'm going to learn what's going on there. And every time when we talk, I'm like, there's so many things that Helsinki could now offer, for example, to Miami, the sustainability, the innovation, such incredible technology here that Miami really doesn't have. So I think what's happening also is that not only the ecosystems of the crypto and metaverse and we see NFTs, the artists coming together and them preaching, because many times you think that, okay, it's Web3, everybody knows each other, but actually it hasn't. They have been in their own communities, and now it is how can we bridge all of them together. And same thing comes with the city level. I'm super excited to be part of seeing how the Miami has grown in the Web3 and metaverse space, and how we can now collaborate with the city level. So there's a lot of excitement, and I think that's something that you sometimes forget when you hear on the parties that people are buying crypto, their houses, and you feel like you're so behind, and then you leave the city, and like, I guess we are still early innovators, but a lot of opportunities, and I must say we are extremely pioneering in this room, whoever it is. We need to be super proud that this is the day one.
Excellent. I think those were excellent closing words. And we can continue that by networking. Joe, do you have any final words for our...
Like a question?
Well, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I'm very interested in how you're using the platform to bring the emerging technologies together, and that's very much what Spatial 8 is all about. And one of the things that we try to do with All Night, try to introduce how these can come together, and it's not just XR. That's not only the future. I mean, it's how these technologies come together to solve problems. So, we're like I said, we're on board with doing something new and bridging the communities. for sure.
I can quickly comment and then you can take it from there. We were thinking a lot of time, like, how do we start to educate? And obviously we started to do one-on-one consulting, which is quite time consuming as well. So we decided that rather than going to all of the different companies and doing all of these one-on-one, we rather invite the people to our community, to our networks, to our membership network. And that is what Mission Impact is doing. We invite now we're educating women, maybe in the future, hopefully we're educating everybody, but we invite the women into our membership network, and then we invite the leaders and the leading companies and all of these connections together, and we create a safe space for our members to learn. So I think it's all about inviting the right people to our community as well and building the communities.
Do you have something?
Can I ask a question? Yeah.
Yes.
The VR AR Association Global Summit is going to be in Miami is it October or?
December.
December.
Yes.
Immersal, we were a sponsor at the Metaverse 2.0 virtual event. I think that was in March.
Yes.
But we have basically made a decision not to go to Miami. But if you, as you are also chairman of the Finnish VR AR Association, if you could make something bigger out of the Finnish community and make a team of companies or group of companies, maybe together with Business Finland or without them, I don't care, but then we could also participate possibly. But we don't want to go there by ourselves, just to be one out of 10,000 companies, or we don't want to pay the $100,000 bill to be a sponsor that gets the visibility. There needs to be something in between.
That's a great point. I think that's a very, very, and Jana, I think this is your bread and butter, so I'll give it to you because I think it's
definitely we'll be there, and we're organizing events there, and yes, so let's do it. And I believe the power of people coming together, and we should definitely go there together as a Finnish group and organize something throughout the week. And I'm sure we can support there also, organizing other meetings and meetups and events on top of that. So good idea. Let's start to work on that.
One more question, sir.
Thank you. What I'm wondering is that why don't we start using our own platforms which exist already, and start developing a Finnish onboarding system for all the companies. So we have those tools, why don't we use them? So we tell the clients that they should onboard, they should educate, they should start co-creating, collaborating, but they're not using the right tools. So we should have our platform with onboarding materials, and we tested that actually with our distributors now worldwide, and it works fantastically. So you can include methodology into it, you can have the learning process, and you find the best practices which you bring back into the methodology. So that's something we should do from Finland, and show that in Miami, show that here in Helsinki, and start educating executives, board members, all those decision makers who sit on top of the money, sleeping instead of working, and understanding that the entire decade is going to change every business process, and now is the time to start working, not tomorrow, not in 2 years' time, now.
I love it.
I know, that's why this is why I'm from Miami to Helsinki. Thank you. I absolutely, and if we can get more on board, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I totally agree, but I think we are out of time now, so thank you for participating. We will continue the discussions right after Joe's last messages.
Excellent, thank you very much. And just as an announcement, today we focused on Finland. In September-ish, we're going to be dreaming of Denmark. So we'll be focusing on the Danish XR ecosystem. Before we go into networking and some drinks, I just want to thank all of our sponsors. Again, our host, Helsinki Games Capital, and our sponsors, I'll just name it: Immersal, Anarchy Labs, and Glue, Spatial 8. Thank you for all the participants, all the guests, and all those that will be watching the recording. And yeah, thank you for supporting us, XR, and especially for Ori and Mar, who will be watching, I hope. Thanks for believing in us and helping support the community. And for the rest of you, enjoy the rest of the evening. Have a great summer. Let's mingle. Thank you.
You can find the drinks on the left, but there are in the cans. Please use the cans. There's beer, cider, Coca-Cola, whatever. Please, water as well.